sympathy, but certainly MPs don't either. Yes, Douglas Ross MP. Oh, that's not one for the collection.
Cut it in a style that will be universally popular.
I used to think that Monalot was a fictional character, but it turns out it's actually the First Minister of Scotland.
In the name of Stephen Kerr, a potato with more vitamin C than a lemon.
I am not a potato.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the I Write Show, Series 3, Episode 6. Tonight's the Brasso Awards, which is why we are dressed up like this. And just want to say that, unfortunately, you know, we've had a little bit of trouble the last couple of weeks, and we realized that MI5 was monitoring us, and they grabbed Graham. So we managed to get him on the show, but they've confiscated his background, and he's wearing his "Where the Hell is Independence" shirt. So, yeah, welcome, everybody. So did you guys have a good week?
Yeah, aye. Still alive. No killed me yet.
Looking good, Sean. And Graham, how have they been treating you there in the cells?
Yeah, very well. Yeah. But just as I say, they've nicked my background and stuck me in here with this in the green room. Yeah, it's all good. All
in
good.
a jail suit.
First Minister's questions today. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Well,
it's been an interesting week.
I'm planning my skate now, and I'm going to. I reckon a Where's Wally outfit is going to. They'll not be able to find me because you can never find Wally. So I reckon if I just start walking about London when I get out of here with my Where's Wally, they'll never find me. So I've got it first, I think. Captain Boat guys, for everybody knows in Scottish, obviously. Which I hope you appreciate the effort I've made for the Brassos tonight.
Oh, aye. Somewhere out there, a shortbread tin is missing its bit of ribbon. I thought maybe
they made a bit more of an effort, Sean.
I know I've not even ironed this, man. But I thought the state had taken you up to Peterhead like John McClane, and that was a wee jail suit, and they had you up there breaking rocks in the hot sun, doing penal servitude.
They've given him a break for the show.
That was last week.
So, anyone got anything to say about the events this week? It's been quite a crazy week.
It always are, aren't it, man? It's been 4 years of crazy weeks. In the meantime, I'll say hello to George, Hashbury, and Alex. Thanks for jumping in right away, guys, and joining us as always on the last episode.
Oh, of this series?
Of this series, aye. Do you mean that? Are you meaning to tell us that we won't get independence in the summer, Jen, and we'll have to come back again in the autumn?
Well, personally, I'm planning on getting independence like now, right now. So I don't know about anybody else.
My wife was saying that to me the day that we were getting independence next week, and I didn't realise. I don't know what she's on about, independence, but hey, take her at her words,
On that subject, guys, if and when it happens and takes it, what are we going to do with our Thursday nights? We'll need to have a wee programme on something else. Do you want to? I know Sorry Waynes watch other Waynes playing computer games. That seems to be a big fucking thing these days. Is that, should we, what should we do a podcast on? Should we do, there's already a sporting one on Independence Live, isn't there? What about a cookery programme? Could we do that?
Right.
Are you going to do
I
the
think
cooking
Thomas
show?
MacArthur does the cookery on it. He's a cooking boy.
Oh, is that already taken, man?
After if you do that. I think we should maybe do fashion as we are pillars of fashion,
Yeah,
I'm just totally showing tonight.
I'm just thinking that.
Yeah, we fashion.
I can't see.
Aye.
I can see you and hear you. I can only hear Jen. I can't see Jen. I had to turn the brightness down with the dazzle, the glare off her crown there, man.
You're not missing anything.
I think she's been dipping into the crown jewels, I think.
No, I was busy polishing it with the Brasso, Okay. Well, we can think of something to do.
Oh, I hope you've not been taking it out of the award. Right. Okay.
I melted it down and turned it into a crown.
The one we throw away remark about a cookery programme there, and Jock Thompson's come right in with an old traditional family recipe that it's been handed down the generations in the Thompson family.
How to boil a Tory's head.
The thing is, would you stuff it with though? You need to get sage and onion or something like that to stuff it with, because they're pretty empty.
I
A
think
big
it's already
cavity.
I can imagine that would be appetizing. Okay, so guys, shall we go straight on to Dwarf of the Week?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Dwarf of the Week!
Okay, so Graham, it's your turn this week.
It's my turn.
What
All right,
door are you
okay.
going to turn?
Oh,
Which door are
this
you
is
gonna
exciting. I think I'm tempted to go for number 10, but I think I'm stuck on that Sunak and he's doing my nothing. So I'm going to go for number 9 this week.
Okay, let's see what's behind door number 9.
Want to see what's all?
You did not ask.
I did say, this is complete nonsense. I mean, complete nonsense. I asked the relevant people. They were senior people. They've been working very hard. They gave Jack Doyle gave me a clear account of what had happened.
The Cabinet Secretary.
How the Cabinet Secretary wasn't
I
there?
think they can move on.
Sorry, here you're wrong, because I did ask the Cabinet Secretary.
Let's have a show of hands, shall we? Who believes Boris Johnson was telling the truth yesterday?
Wow.
Nobody believes him.
And that is why we called the show
Pretty damning when you
right.
So what does Stephen Flynn think about
I
that?
tell you what, that's classic, wasn't it? Was that Stephen Flynn? We did ask him for a wee quote on it, right enough.
Was that?
Incredulous. Incredulous.
So they normally stock the audience with loads of Tories, so nobody actually said they believe him.
Aye, that's
that wasn't a Tory actually, yeah.
It was
That's Tory Heartland. She actually did say that before.
I mean, we all know that.
Gets me is this whole thing's farcical. Do you know what I mean? You can't go to court and say, I stole that Mars bar because a big boy out there says it was okay to help yourself. It's not a defence. You can't go and say, they told me it was okay, so I thought it was okay, so I went and did it. If it's against the law, it's against the law. Ignorance is no defence. And Big Johnston's in there with like 300 grand's worth of lawyers saying, big boy, just tell him a big boy, tell you to do it. Those lawyers, man, they're just giving it like that in the background. He's no chance anyway, so we'll not spend a lot of time in this, and we'll just make a fortune. I'm interested to see what they come back with, how he gets.
Doesn't it leave room for a whole new saying? Is like somebody's telling you a whole lot of pish, and you go like, well, that's a Boris.
A Boris. You done a Boris. Originally it was a phrase for hiding in a fridge. If somebody was hiding in a fridge, you would say he's done a Boris. But there's no many people hiding fridges, so it was a bit of a waste, a good metaphor. So aye, doing a Boris. Who knows, maybe in a few years' time we'll be watching Countdown and me Susie Dent will be like that in Dictionary Corner going, yes, a Boris is officially now in the Oxford Dictionary to mean to lie. And that's the thing, man. We were watching that and we're going, aye, right, did you? Aye. But it's by no means the first time. Nobody went, It's like the guy's been doing it forever. By no means the first time. So yeah, we all know what Johnson's about, and he's on a shaky peg. And he's lucky to get away with what he's got away with. But for me, the scalp that really needs to be taken, the head that needs to be rolled, is the question time producer. Those guys used to be really good at loading an audience. I remember there would like question time in Dundee, and it would be full of Surrey and Sussex accents and full of Tory voters and UKippers and stuff like that. What happened to you? Question time. What really questions need to be asked? I'm no paying my license. You know, by the way, get it sorted.
Somebody
I've
said
got
he
to
should wipe his
answer
mouth
to
with
that.
Velcro.
It was a technical. It was a technical problem, Sean, last week.
A wee
The wee
glitch.
guy that was supposed to tie a wee bit of string round everybody's wrist, and now they're after, so that when she asked the question, they just pulled it and they all went like that. If I go to do it, ran out of time. So
I heard the only person who was supporting him was what's his name, Mog. So should we see what Mog has to say about this?
Do we have to?
Jacob Rees-Mogg. Did he have something to say about it, did he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Hold on, let's see if I can find it. Oh, I've got Mogg here. Sorry.
Oh, even he thought it was
He was
too
obviously
boring. He fell
listening
asleep.
hard to the... Yeah.
So
I
that's
think that was
obviously
Jacob
total pish. He wasn't
Rees-Mogg
actually
listening to the
supporting
hearing, you know.
Boris.
Do you know what? I think we started the show talking about these nutters and they're still here, man. Still not getting rid of them. Hopefully we'll not be talking about them in the spring when we come back. Hopefully we'll moved on.
Yeah, do you guys have
Get in the
nutmegs
jail.
after the show?
Boris will be in the jail and Rees-Mogg will be back in his time machine, away back to whatever Victoriana he came for. Ashbury Stumble, anybody that wants to quote Kinks songs is always welcome, man. Yeah.
Somebody's got a suggestion for a show here. The antics of new youths looking for their masters in an independent Holyrood.
Yeah, man. That's about the size of it, isn't it? Serving head office at the branch office, man.
Just talking about, outrageous behaviour. Well, I don't know if it's only me that noticed it on First Minister's question time today, but Douglas Ross is giving it to Youssef. He's giving it. Yeah, you can't see them behind you, but they're all laughing at you. They're all rolling their eyes. They're all shaking their heads like schoolboy bully stuff, you know. I'm thinking this is right at the playground. You know, I mean, he's trying to bully a grown man here with playground behaviour. But as I say, he didn't bite anyway. But not that he ever was going to bite with that, you know. But
aye.
If
we're talking playground behaviour, remember the old Lord Snooty and the Bash Street kids and all that? Hashbury Stumble, he's come up with a wee emoji for Rees-Mogg. If you can't be bothered typing in Rees-Mogg, or if
just put this.
you can just hit the wee top hat and the Z.
It doesn't come up so well in the background. Okay, so we don't care about the Boris.
Do you know we hope
he's
by
guilty?
What'd you say?
We hoped by now that
everybody sticking up for Johnson.
Nobody. And
No in
Sean,
this
what are
room.
you saying?
No, in this room. I'm saying we hoped with it, we wouldn't have to be bothered with him just now, that he would have sloped off into the sun, he would have lurched off into the sunset after Truss took over. But no, he's going to keep popping up because the press still love him, the media still love him, man. It'd be nice if he would pop up because he's accountable, because he's standing in a dock, but they're just going to keep wheeling him out every week. Would you want to say about this, Boris? And he'll oblige them. He'll give some mad soundbite that they all love. So I love those things.
You let the dogs out. So now it's you let Boris out the fridge.
Oh man. Cheer us up, Jen. Cheer us up.
I'm going to cheer you up because we're going to go into the Brassos, which is a big event of the evening. So we're going to be choosing who gets the Brasso Award. So yes. So, yeah, we've got all the people from the last week. Do you want to introduce them, Graham, and all the people from the last weeks who got nominated?
Do you want to do it? Do you want me to do it? Did you say?
Yeah, you do it.
Okay, we've got question time. They were in week 1. I think it was a stitch up when they were in Surrey or somewhere, and they went to random audience members, and both the random audience members they went to were experts in the Scottish Constitution. Then we had the bowl boy, Douglas Ross, and this is a classic. Even for Douglas Ross, this was low. He turned up after Kate Forbes had made a wee religious gaffes about same-sex marriage, etc., with an LGB, a support badge for the LGB community. And he stood up there at First Minister's question time after ripping into trans people for months. He stood up there with this badge on saying he was supporting them. And then we had the bowl boy, Ian Murray, on week 3, who Ian was asked the question, is there any way the Labour Party would give Scotland Indie Ref 2? And he said, under no circumstances, which basically means if everybody in Scotland, apart from Ian Murray, wants Indie Ref 2, we're no getting that. And then the next week was Keir Starmer. What was it Keir had done, man? I can't remember. He's done so much. Anyway, Keir Starmer.
Was it?
He's flip-flopped.
There's been that much, I think, since the show started. There was he was telling people not to support the strikers. They wouldn't give any money to. He just basically echoed everything the Tories have been doing over the past however long.
Always flip-flops. It was about 5
flip-flops. Aye, that's right.
He was going to nationalise this, and then he wasn't going to nationalise it, and then everything that he was going to do, which he backed out of, and again, yeah, Jeremy Corbyn was brought up in that as well, and this week he's basically said the guy can't stand for the Labour Party after saying it was totally up to the local parties to pick their own candidates. But anyway, and then we went on to week 5, and we had GB's wonderful, the Reverend Calvin Robinson, who basically says that women should know their place and go and find a good man to try and please, and that Scotland, we should roll back everything that's been granted to Scotland in devolution and just take it back. So basically England will decide, what's best for Scotland. So that's the 5 nominees. So if people want to suggest,
you forgot about the last one. What's
at the end of the week?
Yeah. Oh, that was the last one.
That was it.
Okay,
Calvin
so we're
Robinson,
inviting.
talking about him.
Yeah.
I've got an idea who I'm voting for. I don't know about you guys, and if the audience have got any ideas at the end.
Yeah, we invite everybody to send through their nominations on the comments.
Well, that's what we need. That's what we need. They need the audience to decide for us. So I send your comments in, man. In Red Scotland, right away, we had just put the photos up in Red Scotland. It said that Starmer's brass neck must need plenty of brass also. Red Scotland feels that Starmer needs the tin of Brasso, and he would certainly go to a good home. So let us know, folk. Why?
Okay, so George has chosen number 5, which must be Calvin.
Yeah, George obviously is no fan of self-made religious zealots, right-wing religious zealots on TV and influencing politics. That's one American route we don't want to get down into.
Yeah. We've got some other comments here. We're waiting for people to put their nominations in.
And while people are deciding...
we seem to have 2 for Starmer and 1 for Calvin.
Yeah, while people are deciding, we'll let you digest this little joke from Hashbury Stumble. Hashbury Stumble, I see it every week.
He's just not. No, I'm saying David Mundell. I forgot about him, man.
Right. So there's a setup. The wee dogs sitting outside the butchers, and it was sitting outside the butchers. And it was looking.
Oh, look, the dog's looking forlorn. Okay. So Red Scotland said something as well.
So yeah, that's it.
What were you going to say?
So Who
I
would
thought it
you
was a
go
good
for
joke,
then,
Ashbury.
Who would you pick?
My personal bag of pish is Douglas Ross. I think he's
Douglas Ross. Sean?
Do you know what? I can't see past Ross as well, because not only is he got to be against the majority of the people in Scotland and do it in a really whinging, wheezing, snivelling way, but he's decided that I don't get enough abuse in the press and at Holyrood. I'm going to spend my weekends with being a football official and get abused for thousands and thousands of strangers that way. So he's got a double brass neck. He's obviously just got zero self-awareness. So I can't see past the Ross either.
Somebody did a funny thing of him during the week. They got like him on the football field and they sped it up and they edited it so it looked like he was doing some Scottish Ceilidh dancing.
He danced, that's right.
Some really fast like Ceilidh music on, and it was so funny.
He was doing his warm-up exercises, man.
Was that Ross?
Yeah.
Was that him? Was it? I didn't realise that was him.
Yeah, they did an edit of it and they sped it up so it looked like he was doing like Strip the Willow or something. Well, who's your choice, Graham?
You know, I'm between Ross and Stalmer. But you know something? Question time. I've just given up on that. So I don't even think they're worth a tin of brass, so they'd probably be able to put it to good use. Ross, I don't think there's enough brasso in that tin for him, to be honest with you. Or Stalmer. Calvin, I don't know, man. Oh, man. That's a tough choice, isn't it? Ian Murray, I don't get him at all, man. Yeah, I can't figure that boy out.
Somebody said something about Ross here. Ross is diarrhea.
I'm gonna. Well, thing is, Graham, we can wait. We can wait a few minutes and we can see what the experts say.
We've got some comments as well.
Right, okay. And because Alex Adam and Jock have already said that it's the hardest multiple choice they've ever had. So this one looks even more challenging than the SNP leaders debate. Jock Thompson's managed to make a decision. Alex Adam, the jury's still out with Alex. See, it's too hard. I think Alex going to maybe just stick a pen in a bit of paper.
Okay.
Let's
go through some of the comments.
You know, when it actually comes down to it, you've got to pick one. As I say, it's between four for me. I'm not even contemplating question time because it's.
Can I change? I'm going to change. I'm going to change to Starmer because it's about brass neck. I genuinely think that Ross hasn't got a clue what's going on. Whereas Starmer to do all that flip flop and to say one thing and do another, I think that's real brass neck. I'm going to go for Starmer. Sorry.
Okay, guys, we still, if anyone's in the audience there and they want to send through something, what does Red Scotland say? Douglas Ross is too thick to be diarrhea. On the touchline, it's quite runny here. Okay.
Yeah,
so there was a comment just now that I missed. Okay, so Red Scotland said something. I don't know if this is appropriate, but let's have a look.
Soon find
This
out.
is time to reawaken the spirit of 1745, folks. Independence will be denied unless we take it. The crown will not be relinquished. It's a cash cow until we force issue. Well, I've got the crown now, so I'm declaring independence from 11 o'clock tonight.
You're declaring UDI tonight. We'll maybe do it at the end of the show, Jim. Yeah, you can do it on the way out. Right, well, we move on to the brasso and then not the brasso, the Manhattan, and then come back to this at the end and make a choice. What do you think?
Sounds good. Sounds good. Keep us in suspense.
Forever. We will never change. We will keep our union together in the name of Jesus.
That always catches me by surprise. Sean.
Sean, you were going.
Okay.
You're in the toilet there. let's see.
What's ripping anything this week?
What a wealthy man the Prime Minister is. So in total, over that 3-year tax period, it shows that he earned nearly £5 million from a combination of his salary, his investments and capital gains as well. And over that period as well, he paid just over £1 million in tax. That he earned nearly £5 million as well. He paid just over £1 million in tax. That he earned nearly £5 million as well. He paid just over £1 million in tax.
Wow,
he done that.
Doesn't
He
it?
pays 22% in tax on £5 million income. Now that's his income in this country. That's not all his offshore income, which he doesn't pay any tax on. But so on the £5 million he declared, he only had to pay 22% in tax. Now, if I was a guy who was earning 80 grand a year, which I wouldn't get out of bed for 80 grand a year, to be honest with you, which was a joke. But if I was ever in a position to be earning 80 grand a year, I think I'd be well hacked off. What did he pay? Is it 45% or 45%? And he's getting away with half of that. Man, and these people vote for him. Maybe they're all at it, I don't know. But I kind of think if we want to, do you know what I mean? If these Tories want money for the national, want a better national health service, they might want to pay their taxes, and then we might be able to get a better national health service if they all, instead of trying to avoid paying tax. Anyway, rant over.
Do they want a better national health service though, or do they want it to be deliberately run into the ground and defunded so they've got a better excuse for selling it off? Then all this money they've put aside, they can give to their mate who'll come in like a white knight in shining armour and buy up all the hospitals and stuff. Man, I don't think you really want an NHS that's working.
I heard they need the extra money that they're saving on paying lower tax because they all going to buy some of those units in Rwanda because they thought they were so nice. And all the Tories are moving out to Rwanda. So after we declare independence tonight, literally they'll be on the plane or maybe a little boat to Rwanda, and they've got some of those lovely units there, So that's what they needed the tax cuts for.
We could do it at the next election, couldn't we? Because if somebody's standing behind the box that they don't see, but as soon as they go like that, they put their cross beside the Tories, big hand comes out and goes, right, that queue over there for you. You're on the plane. We could get rid of them all at the one time, get them all queued up at Glasgow Airport there, clear us out. Make way for all these good socialist English people for the North of England that want to come up here and join us after independence.
If you're talking Independence Live, if you'd have been here at the beginning, there was a big fanfare. It's an awards night tonight where we're presenting the Brassos. So there's going to be gold envelopes and stuff and presenting it, hence the tiara and everything.
I think they're brown envelopes.
Yeah, brown. But if, aye, and use notes. If we're going to, we're talking about the north-south divide in England there, Graham, about the socialists in the north of England. Where is that north-south divide? An answer to Red Scotland's suggestion about invoking the spirit of 45, which is a fair point, because in amongst all the laughs and all that we're trying to do here and keep it light-hearted, there is that serious thing that we're up against. But Hashbury Stumble decided, he's not in the mood to walk all the way to Derby and back for Inverness. So yeah, we maybe need to rethink the 45 thing. Aye, maybe with our new privatised rail network, we can get down there cheaper. Who knows? Also, Hashbury Stumble.
I'm waiting for HS2.
If we're talking about jobs on the side and things like that, Hashbury Stumble pointed out that Gove only appointed Dross because Gove heard that Dross was the linesman.
Very good. Imagine, did you see that at the weekend? They got him on the TV to talk about getting all these nasty people that take drugs. You couldn't make
Gove.
it up. Let's just send a
Gove.
cokehead out there. Gove was on the TV. He was the party line about getting rid of these the laughing gas, because all these yobs are taking laughing gas in the parts and leaving the canisters. And,
aye.
Well, there's not much
I
else
wouldn't
to
like
laugh
say he's
about,
a
is
junkie,
there?
but he's
That's madness.
he certainly dabbled with the old coke in the past anyway. Pepsi as well, I suppose, just in case he's listening.
Well said, Sean. That's precisely the agenda. So Sean gets a little gold.
Yeah, getting back to the Rwanda thing though, I think it's no nice, but it's kind of reassuring to see that that's one promise that the Tory government have kind of fulfilled, because the Brexit thing was all about getting back to the old empire. This was going to be Empire 2.0. This was going to be Empire version 2. So I think it's quite kind of appropriate that the Great Britain in Empire version 1 were the guys that invented the concentration camps with the Boers and all that. So yeah, we'll let the Europeans do it better. They were so better at their concentration camps for a while, more efficient and all that. But we've taken back control and now we're building our own concentration camps again in Rwanda. So yeah, but back to traditional British Empire values.
No, not just in Rwanda. They're doing it in this country now. They're taking all the old army bases over, and they're going to put them on. They're going to concentrate them into these army bases, but they're not concentration camps. Obviously, they're just going to be concentrated in these camps that are surrounded by barbed wire. You couldn't make this crap, could you? I mean, you couldn't make it up. And people are just going, well, that's a great idea. Like, how do you get 45? Well, they say 45,000. I don't know, but let's say 45,000 are kicking about. How do you get 45,000 people into 3 army bases and no call it a concentration camp? Beats me. But anyway,
Exactly.
enough of that.
Well, Sean had a very valid point. You know, it was them who started concentration camps in South Africa, and Hitler got his idea from there.
So, getting back to the subject, though, you know, what it was is the tax return. You know, this was slipped out on the back of while Boris Johnson was in, you know, doing his defence in that select committee, and a wee bit in the media, but nobody's picked up on the fact that this guy is no paying a fair level of tax. It's gone. He's put his tax return that everybody's going, oh, 22%. It's gone. None of the media, nobody has picked up on this. And I think that's a sad state of affairs that we're in.
Oh, Graham, now, that's why you're there.
People are basically controlling everything. What's that?
Yeah, that's why you're there, because you pick up the things that all the media misses.
Yeah. Yep, there you go.
What do you think about that, Sean?
What was that?
I mean,
what do you think about it?
You must be happy, Sean. He's paying 22% of tax, and you're paying 45%.
Thing is, well, people that keep an eye on these things that have got any degree of political awareness, and I'm not saying we're experts here, but we are interested in what's happening. We're aware of that, and it was before Sunak was even voted in, I think, when he had held previous office. People questioned this. How can you be Home Secretary when your wife isn't paying blah, blah, blah? And also asking where all these investments were going and the trail. That little website that we had up here a wee while ago, My Little Crony, still so relevant, shows you this, the cash trail.
Aye.
And as George Neve mentioned there, the backhanders. Anyway, it was always out there. The information was always out there, and we can talk to each other in our bubble about it. But when you're talking about the wider media and all picking up on it, I don't watch a lot of telly, but the only person I'm aware of that has actually chinned him about this is Carol Vorderman. You know, last week or 2 weeks ago, we were talking about the race issue. Why did it have to be Gary Lineker that brought this up, brought it to the public's attention? Why does it have to be Carol Vorderman or that money advice fella that runs the website? Why does it have to be these guys that talk the energy cabal that's going on? Why is it not mainstream media and journalists that are doing that? Why does it have to be people on their Twitter account, celebrities or TV personalities on their Twitter account? It's disgusting.
Isn't it time we had a Scottish broadcaster that's with Scottish audience, Scottish question time, and we summon up people and we put them on the spot and ask them questions?
That'll be good, aye.
that Martin Lewis, though. That Martin Lewis, he's everybody's hero, you know. But I noticed him on the telly the other week when they were talking about student loans, and somebody goes on, it's ridiculous, no students have got to come out of university with all this debt. And he had a meltdown. You know, and it's not debt. This is like a form of tax for later on in your life. I hate when people call this debt. You can't call this. And I'm thinking, whoa. Well, man, if you've got 50 grand around your neck, you can call it tax if you like. But to me, it's a debt. You know, you walk out of university looking for a job and you owe a bank somewhere 50 grand. That's no tax. That's
big time. And again, call it something else then. If it's not a debt, don't call it a student loan. If it's not a debt, don't call it a student loan. If it's a tax when you're earning a load of money, call it students' deferred tax system. If they've called it a loan, then it's a debt.
Yeah, right.
Journals are all bought and paid for. They don't want to end up like
close to Richie Sunak and that, you know. And I think he made light of that. You know, I thought he made light of that. No, that was the first time I thought, ooh,
that's
this guy.
Aye.
Hey, that's just my conspiracy theorist coming.
That's a good point, Jock Thompson. That's the sinister side of it. Assange and Dando and Dr. Kelly as well. Don't forget Dr. Kelly.
If it's not a debt, don't
think we don't kill people. So the Russians must have come in and done that. Somebody made a good point earlier on, actually, about the Rolling Stones leaving the country when the tax was
because of 95p
cents in the pound. Yeah, but I remember it was for every pound they earned, they had to pay 95p in tax. And I remember my dad at the time. I must have been about 6 or 7. No, maybe about 8 at the time. And in those days, we used to go out in the street. We actually used to play football on the road. We used to sit in the middle of the road and play marbles with the stanks in the middle of the road, and the old drain covers. Because there was occasionally a car would come down the street, and at night time there might be 2 cars parked in the whole street. And then you'd get into your house and you never had fitted carpets. You'd an old rug thrown down, and your mum and dad sat in a chair, and you sat in your mum and dad's knee because there was no settee or anything like that. Do you know, I remember my older sister sat in a cushion on the floor. And that's my first political memory was my dad saying to me, you watch, when Harold Wilson did that, you watch this change this country. And about 10 years, when I think back now, about 10 years later, you couldn't move in the street for cars. It was full of cars. Everybody had a car. Everybody had a TV. Everybody had fitted carpets and 3-piece suites. So it did make a difference. It did redistribute the wealth until Maggie Thatcher came in and halved it from 80 pence to 40, I think it was, wasn't it? And ever since that day, the wealth gap's been building or widening and widening. Something to
By the way, did you see the protest in France?
It's a pity because if like that was the Stones bailing out and going to another country, and there's us now in this day and age, we can't get rid of Sam Smith. We're desperate to get him to emigrate, but we can't do it. Sorry, to emigrate, but we can't do it.
Even turned up with his own plane suit at some award ceremony, and he couldn't take off.
Oh man, Hashbury Stumble again. Getting back to the ways of earning a living on the side. Hashbury Stumble referring to that sting that was done last week, where the Korean company, the Korean reception company, reeled in half a dozen Tory MPs, and they went, "Aye, I'll do it for 15,000 a day." Or
Oh, that was so
100,000 a
funny,
year.
yeah.
Aye. So Hashbury Stumble has decided that the BBC have got a new show, Hancock's Half Hour. £5,000. £5,000 for half an hour.
I think it was that.
Hashbury
It was
Stumble's
that
busy
Quasi
tonight.
Clarton, and they said, yeah, it was Quarty when they said to him, "How much would you charge?" And he went, "Well, he didn't know what he says." He's looking down and he goes, "I mean, I would be looking for about 15,000 per annum." And the girl come back to him and goes, "Is that 15,000 a day?" Yes, 15,000 a day. Just no shame.
And one of them said, "And if that's too low, you can let me know. I'll be."
Shocking. Hashbury Stumble's got a joke for us. He says a guy walks into the Burns bar in Falkirk and asks for Coke, and the barman says, "We only sell cola in here, son."
A twist on the old Pepsi joke.
Yeah.
Aye.
So
that was like the two wee posh women up in this town, and they had gone for a walking trip down in Ayrshire, a wee 3-day walking holiday, and they were staying in a hotel in Ardrossan, and they thought at night time they'd go out for a wee walk and try and get a wee cocktail somewhere. So true story, went for a walk in Ardrossan, and they came across a pub. So they went into this pub in Ardrossan, went up to the bar, and there was nobody in the pub. There was about a guy sitting in the corner, and the two of them walked up the bar, and the guy standing there cleaning glasses. He goes, "Excuse me, do you sell cocktails?" And the barman looked at him and went, "Aye." And he said, "Oh, what cocktails have you got?" He went, "Whiskey and water." Walk back it.
Ardrossan.
Back to the Brassos, I think, eh?
Aye, give your votes, people, because Starmer and Ross, Keir Starmer and Douglas Ross, are kind of level pegging just now. So you need to let us know. Is there any Ash Regans in the background ready to come up and steal a few votes? I don't know. Is it a 2-horse race? Sorry, horses, man, for comparing you to those two. So yeah, let us know.
I think
Starmer or
I
Ross.
think I'm going to have to go for Starmer.
Oh no, come
never
on, it has
voted
to be
Tory in my
Douglas
life,
Ross. He's the
and-
worst.
There is that thing about voting Tory, it's just so alien to you, isn't it, man? I remember just even back in 2013, 2014, back in under F1, I was after being a lifelong left winger, and then under F1, the other side, the good guys had the blue badges and the blue colours, yes, and all that mob had the red, the no and the red rosettes. And I just couldn't get my head around this, that the blue side was the good guys and the red side were the bad guys. It just went totally against my left-right way of thinking. It took a while to get my head around. So I understand why there's still that thing about you can't even vote for a Tory. Even if it was to voting for a firing squad, you still can't go, but you just can't make yourself do it.
He's just a broken record.
I think I could make an exception there, Sean.
There's no such thing as Scottish Tories. They're not registered in Scotland. He's not even voted for. He's nothing.
Somebody just put up there that they had 40 grand's worth of student debt. Man, I mean, that's our student taxes, they put it. Now that Martin Luther says it's a tax, it's okay to have it, Aye, there it is, aye. I almost thought, I mean, that's, imagine having that. I don't know what age you are, Red Scotland, but
aye.
I would hate to be in my 20s with that kind of debt, you know what I mean?
What they used to call him, a mature student.
That's... but he's gone through university.
Jeremy Corbyn. Starmer for Stumble. Starmer for the Stumbles. Stumble for Starmer.
Starmer for me. Yeah. I mean, I know he's a red Tory, but it's Albert Reagan's battery, so I think Is that Ash Reagan or somebody's going to... We don't go there. Their guns... As Sean always says, our guns fire outwards, you know.
Exactly.
We try and keep away from
Exactly,
it.
man. Exactly.
Know,
yeah, we'll try and focus on the common enemy.
So are we deciding that Douglas Ross is too insignificant? He's not even voted for. We can't even vote him onto the Brassos because he's a Tory.
Well, he's just in the background. He's just if it was an offside trap, he's just a yard behind the defenders. You know what I mean? If we could put it on linesman's terms, he's just a yard off the running man. So are we going to get a VAR on it? Or is Starmer going to steal it? Are we going to have a VAR decision for Dross?
I think Dross is nothing. He's like too.
I tell you what, see that Dross being a linesman, is that a field referee? You become a linesman, or is that something you train specifically for? You go
specifically for.
I want to be a linesman, or is it just referees that didn't quite get to the top?
It's the referee's version. It's the referee's version of the subs bench. Aye. But maybe that's what he prefers. He doesn't want to be the actual one with
the
referee's in the middle, and the referee's got to make the tough decisions, and the referees get the responsibility, and the buck stops for him. And that's a bit like being First Minister. Whereas the linesman can just be on the side going, rah, 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 rah.
Oh, he's like a dog running up and down the fence, barking at the neighbour's dog.
And that's what he does at Holyrood. He just kind of on the sidelines, on the touchlines, chipping his wee bat in, waving his flag. But really, the First Minister's the one with a whistle that gets the flack if a decision's wrong. So I think he's comfortable with that. He knows his place, which maybe means he shouldn't get a Brasso because he knows his place.
I'm going for Starmer. That's one vote for Starmer. I'm definitely going Starmer.
I'm Starmer as well. And the viewers are split down the middle with the two of them. So they are.
Split up the back.
Right. We need somebody to make a decision then, Jen.
So Jen needs to come off that fence.
Oh, here's an answer for you, by the way. Red Scotland said mid-40s. Student loans are noose around the neck of the working class.
I think Red Scotland, since he's got the worry of 40 grand's worth of debt, should make the final decision on who gets the Brasso. What about that?
Okay, Red Scotland, tell us who it is.
Cheer him up.
Who gets the Brasso award?
We're doing it now.
We're waiting. Well, I'll put the music on.
And the one, well, the loser gets the Brasso award. It has to be STEM, I think, because even Red Scotland said that. He said, "Oh, wait."
Right, okay, there you go. Right, okay.
He said, "I'll go for STEM since he stabbed Corbyn in the back."
Well, with a name like Red Scotland, I think you would have to that's betraying of all the socialist principles. I think must be a big red line for you, man. So you can understand that one.
Yeah, it's just a big backstabber, and I think you're right. We can't vote for Tory for anything. So
Richie Sunak's come in with he's about a wee comment to say once it was awarded to Starmer. Fortunately, he agrees
when I go around
with
the world
us.
and talk to businesses, they know that. They're like, that's interesting.
There you go. That's it, confirmed. It's definitely Starmer. Right, so what we finishing up with this week, Jen?
Fireworks, bunting, streamers, woo! Having said that, in true Tory fashion, Douglas Ross will probably get in on the list vote now.
Yeah. That's a shame. He's never won anything, has he?
Who's Douglas Ross, by the way? I've never heard of him.
He's the new Murdo Fraser. beaten again, but it'll no deter him.
There was a funny picture that they had of him somewhere on Twitter, and he was going like. So I bet if he knew that we didn't bother to vote him for
Right then, so we're ending up with a wee. Ending up on a wee serious note this week. We poem for Sean, rather than a comedy sketch at the end, just to end the series. So this is a beautiful wee poem Sean had written a few years back, I think, called The Butterfly Effect.
Aye, no, a nice bit of musical accompaniment.
In the autumn.
So it's The Butterfly Effect by Sean Moore.
We don't want to end on too serious a note, but just what we were saying earlier on about always shooting out. There's been a lot of negative stuff happening in the movement, and I'd like to think that we've not really indulged in that, or we've not encouraged it, and we've just tried to remind people about the common enemy is. So people were talking about the spirit of 45, the spirit of 14. It's just about rebuilding that, innit, people? So we'll hopefully see us again when Graham decides that we're doing this again in the autumn or something.
In the summer
Probably, I need to get summer by.
Aye.
Yeah.
And
aye.
We'll fight a good fight.
I think this it's talking about the spirit of 45. It's well summed up in what you've got to say here, Sean. So see you on the autumn, hopefully, if we don't see you out there marching in the summer. Here we go.
The butterfly effect I'd heard of, but never quite believed in. I couldn't get my head around that abstract theory. How the fragile fluttering, the flimsy wee things flapping get kickstart a hurricane to alter the course of history. The movement of peaceful wee creatures causing such a commotion. I couldn't imagine that perfect storm. I never thought I'd see it in action. Rock the wind in the clear day's dawn. Was it clouds you'll stir gaudy that there's never a wind blowing through the great glen of the world today. See, it was a wee whisper first, just wafting among us, awakening senses and gathering groundswell to gale force, to great irresistible gusts, and strong winds of change that blew the fresh cleansing breeze that swept away the old cobwebs and unsettled the dust, that whipped and it whirled and it skelped and it skirled and shook the people awake, braced their bodies and filled their ears. Breath of fresh air that fills your lungs, causes hearts to beat stronger, forces eyes to stay open, unblinking till we're near to tears. Gone the brooding umbrage, no more to be kept quiet in the dark. The clouds were blown away and we could see clearly at last. We saw the end of threatening atmospheres, the grey, the austere. We saw the sky that was our limit, no longer overcast. Transformed from sluggish, crawling beings hidden in the shadows, the magical metamorphosis, the old rigid chrysalis broken. No more entrapped, encumbered by the paper pulp, no more cocooned in the dark, their wings and their eyes wide open. We found our wings, we found our courage, we saw our destiny too, an endless unbroken vista of beautiful saltire blue. It's a thought that would gather rottens, all the rogues that gang callous, fresh and grey. Take the road and seek the lowness, they're ill-poised to sport and play. See this breeze chill the bones of the hunters and the captors, the proud strutting peacocks, the thieving magpies, the drank raptors and swarms of wasps and more like hawks. And they flocked and circled and chased and harried, and aye they cruised like rod. Some cackled and fly away forever, migrating build nests abroad. And then they hovered with menace, they preyed in the old, scarily swooping and screeching. And then they sank as in a courtship display, lavishly vowing and they were afraid the beautiful creatures that dared to fly. In their God-given heavens, their territorial hunting grounds, they wanted it all. Their greed is as boundless as those skies, like butterfly collectors believing that butterflies should stay pinned down. So their hackles up and their feathers ruffled, they did what they had to do. Anything but share that beautiful unbroken vista of beautiful saltire blue. Remorseless and relentless, they cleared the skies and swatted down a flock of bright wee butterflies in the garden where all summer long the butterflies had played. And just for one day, those that don't believe in flying stayed crushed, those that they terrorised. But many more having tasted sweet nectar are now forever energised to dance and spread the pollen around, to germinate and catch, and day by day see more and more new bright wee brave wee butterflies hatch. There's too many to crush, there's too many to pin down, there's too many like me and like you, and soon we will fill our unbroken vista, a beautiful saltire blue. Rock the wind in the clear day's dawning, was a clouds he'll stir gaudy away, but there's wind blowing through the grey